I wasn't always your friendly neighborhood juice boss. In fact, for 10 years after graduating college, I was lost in a dark place. I was searching for love and purpose. I was single most of that time, so I was super lonely. And I was working as a union iron worker, which was kind of family business and definitely not the plan. I felt like I was disappointing everybody, especially my family, especially my parents, myself, my creator. It just felt like I was not doing what I was supposed to be doing. My vice was alcohol. Now, I never considered myself an alcoholic because I didn't drink every day, but when I did, it was extreme. And that extreme drinking led to all sorts of problems. Fights, drugs, arrests. I've been arrested at least 9 times. That all changed in a matter of 24 hours, 11 years ago. After I saw this documentary about this baller Australian businessman who was overindulging and found himself overweight and on 50 different prescription meds. He decided to commit to a 30-day juice fast. And I saw this guy transform right before my eyes, his body, his health, everything. I was intrigued because I was always looking for a silver bullet too. So I went out and bought that exact juicer and then went to the grocery store and loaded my fridge with organic produce. Then I went out that night and got wasted. Woke up in the morning in a typical guilty haze. When I walked out of my room and saw that juicer on the counter, I remembered what time it was. So I fired it up and fired everything through it. Carrots, apples, beets, lemon, ginger, kale. What came out the other end was ugly, brown to be exact. But just like everything back in those days, everything that hit my lips back in those days, I chugged it. And immediately felt this rush of clean, purifying energy flow through my body. Those anxious feelings of shame and guilt were gone. It was like that juice washed away my sins. From that moment, I was hooked. I began every single day with fresh juice. Then I found myself replacing lunch with juice and playing with different recipes and combinations and tracking and researching this new cold pressed juice industry that was emerging. Then I started taking trips to places like Miami and LA to visit these unique shops that were opening up. Didn't take many of those trips and returning back to my Breville juicer and my kitchen apartment before I decided this was it. This is what I was going to do. So I started looking for the right space. And once we signed that lease, there was no turning back. Construction was underway, and I met my soulmate, Victoria. 6 months later, we were engaged. A year and a half later, we were married. The next year, we opened up our second shop. Then our daughter Sylvia was born. Third shop, our son Boban was born. My life has exploded with love and purpose. And it all started with that ugly glass of fresh juice.